did this ourselves.
They're coming. It's gone to be.
Where is everyone?
Hello again, survivors. Makeshift here with another episode of the Apocalypse Post. This is another episode kind of brought to us by the Patch of the Month Club. I've been enjoying doing these because the patches come from not only the Apocalypse Post designs, but also from the greater Wastelander community. And this month, I am very happy to have and if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll be able to see it. But if you're not, I'll just kind of describe it a little bit. But we've got the Dawn Patrol patch, which is a really cool, it's a little bit different. It's not quite an upholstery one. It's like this really fun cloth patch. It's printed. It's really neat. And for those of you that can't see it, it's got some really cool dark colors. It's got an atom bomb going off in the background, some cat skulls, what look like headphones, and then, of course, the Dawn Patrol logo. And Dawn Patrol is a newer tribe to Wasteland, but they've been making some waves. I know they've showed up on the map a couple of times. They're probably going to be in the city this year, and they've been getting up to some shenanigans. So to hear all about what they've got in store, where they come from, a little bit more about the tribe, and some other events that they attend, I invited on this episode the leader of Dawn Patrol, MotoPunk. So MotoPunk, welcome to the Apocalypse Post.
Thank you, Makeshift. Thank you. Glad to be here.
Absolutely. I'm so glad you were available. And thank you so much for submitting these patches. They're really fun. I can't wait for people to get them in their hands. It's always great to have. Yeah. It's always great to have like some Wastelander inspired stuff get out there. So I can't appreciate it enough.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you guys are kind of new to the Wasteland world, but you're not just limited to Wasteland. So why don't you tell me a little bit about how your tribe got started?
So it started out, I want to say...
and actually, would you mind? Your mask looks so cool. Like, it's amazing. Would you mind showing off those beautiful blues? I'm assuming they're blue. I don't know what's under there.
Good guess.
Really? All right.
Yeah.
I recently did a deep dive into blue eyes, and did you know that 2 blue-eyed people have like a 99% chance of having a blue-eyed baby? I always thought it was way less than that, but that's the way it is. All right. Well, thank you so much. It's good to see your face. So tell me where Dawn Patrol got your start.
So I want to say it was 2022. I watch a lot of YouTube, and usually if I'm just chilling, I'll just let it go. Sometimes fall asleep to it, and all of a sudden, this song comes on by the band Oddco. I believe the song is called "Disobey," and I was like, "Oh, this slaps. I really like this." And then I looked into the band, and then I found another video called D4TM, Drug for the Masses, and I watched that video. I'm like, this is really cool. It's post-apocalyptic. And later I found out they actually filmed that video at Wasteland. And I want to say they filmed in, I believe, 2019 is when that video came out. 2019 or 2020.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And so then all of a sudden, all these Wasteland videos started popping up on my algorithm. And I'm like, what is this? Like, why haven't I heard about this yet? At the time, it already been going on for 11 years, 11 or 12 years, something like that. And so then I'm like, I'm online every day looking for every single video, every single bit of information I could on the event, because I'm like, we're doing this. We have to do it. So then my wife, I was talking to her, and she was all in for going too. And she proposed to me a couple years ago, and she'd kind of been hounding me a little bit, and I was all for it, but just timing had to be right. And so I was like, one night we're watching one of the Wasteland YouTube videos, and I'm like, hey, you want to get married there? She's like, oh, hell yeah. So
awesome.
So it basically just started with the two of us. Then we told some friends, some of my coworkers, and one by one, people kept joining, and we ended up having 10 people, including us, there
your first year.
For our first year.
Damn, that's awesome.
Was insane. Yeah. Yeah. So we did the midnight line. We got there probably 1:30 in the morning. We're roughly like 7.5 hours from Wasteland. We're just in Northern California near Sacramento.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So, and I did a ton of research. I'm the type that I have to know what I'm going into. So yeah, but as soon as we put feet on the ground, there was this vibe, just a complete vibe before I even talked to anybody.
Awesome.
But leading up to that, I started I started an Instagram page just for getting prepared for it, getting ready. I probably went a little overboard for first year, at least being themed. And, I wanted everything to be themed. And so I started posting pictures on Instagram, and, I thought up our name and all that. And one day, Safety from the Love Bombs reaches out to me and asks me some questions like, hey, you want to get in some shenanigans? I'm like, hell yeah. And he's like, we've been trying to get the helicopter for the last 3 years. You want to help? And I'm like, hell yeah.
Wait, did you even know what they were talking about at the time?
Yeah, I had actually, by that point, I'd watched damn near every video that was
okay. So you knew about
YouTube.
It just from watching videos.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. So when the first year that you guys showed up, did you come with a camp, or were you just kind of just in costume?
We had a camp. It was pretty much themed, but it was very trashy themed. We're just using camo netting over our equipment, and we had like a 10 by 20 carport for our food and our sitting area. But we got through the gate, I want to say around 10 a.m.
Okay.
And we ended up camping way the hell out there. I think we're like in a quiet place or something.
One of the last rows.
Yeah. Second to last, I believe, on the far east side. Yeah. But It was okay. Yeah.
Okay, so first year, kind of like bare minimum camp. And have you guys grown since then? Because I've seen some pictures on that Instagram, which, by the way, if you want to follow along, at Dawn_Patrol_tribe, and you can see a bunch of pictures from the Dawn Patrol.
Awesome.
Yeah. Have you guys been building up?
Yeah. So last year we had 10 people total, but 3 of them were people not part of our tribe. We just let them camp with us. People we ran into. Our camp has greatly improved aesthetically, and as the picture you saw on our Instagram, we've done a lot to the camp since last year. Last year looked more like almost like a MASH unit with camo netting all over the place, and we had like 3 carports. So we kept it in theme, but we still were way the hell out there, even though we got in earlier.
Yeah.
But this year, it looks like it's just going to be about 4 of us from our tribe. We will have at least one other person joining us that's not in our tribe that was with us last year. But yeah, I decided to really step it up this year, and I want to be in the theme zone.
Cool.
I want to be in the mix. Yeah.
Cool. Well, from the pictures I saw, it looks really great. Plus, you guys do. I saw that you have the Dawn's End Apoca Lounge as part of your camp.
Yeah.
It looks like a great place to hang out.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun. We got a chance to do a trial of it at one of our local NorCal events a couple weeks ago, and it was a blast. We had a lot of fun. It seemed like everyone had a blast. So, yeah.
Nice. What was that event?
Yeah. So it was the 2nd annual NorCal Wastelander Hoot Nanny. So it's one of our many NorCal events we have. I feel terrible because I can't remember her Wasteland name, but Gina Von Dam, she offers her property up for the event. We sell about 80 tickets. It's capped at 80 right now, just because of space. Not sure if they're going to try to expand on that or not. But
and that's Strix, Gina Von Dam. Is that right? Strix? Yeah, that's what's on her on her Facebook.
Oh,
So
okay. Okay.
I don't know. A lot of Wastelanders have like so many different nicknames. You just never know.
Yeah. And I'm horrible because, go ahead.
That was it. I was just going to say, because, we
Yeah.
do a lot of different events. A lot of Wastelanders do Neotropolis, Ren Fairs. A lot of people have their nicknames just in their friend group. So yeah, you just never know.
Yeah. And I'm horrible with names, and I'll wind up calling someone by their normal name at Wasteland and by their Wasteland name outside. Yeah.
Yep. Same.
But no, Gina's awesome. The last 2 years we've had it, it's been about 80 people. Basically, we do some Wasteland events, we do some crafts and stuff, and just hang out, have fun. The first one was in November of last year, which is kind of cold, but not cold for California, really.
Yeah, I got you.
We're a little spoiled, but yeah, and that was a good turnout. I showed up a day early to set up our carports, and we wound up my camp. I set up a projector, and I did Mad Max movies all weekend.
Oh, sweet! Nice.
We served hot cocoa in the evening for everyone, and some spicy hot cocoa, which was amazing. And it's just a great hangout.
Nice.
We have people from the Bay Area, NorCal, even some SoCal people show up sometimes, which is awesome.
Very cool. Very cool. And do you do other events up there too?
Oh yeah. So Needle, she has been doing the Nucleal, which is our Festivus. And I believe that's been going on for 7 years.
Yeah, I got invited to that, but I wasn't able to do that one.
Yeah.
It's just I'm a little far away these days.
Yeah, it's hard for, an event that's only 6-7 hours, but it's worth it. It's very worth it. There's 200 people. They sell 200 tickets for that one. Yeah, wow. It's catered. They have stage shows. That'd be perfect for you to perform on stage.
Oh, thank you. That would be really fun. That would be really fun.
But yeah, and this year, I actually had a merch booth. You did? Selling some of the stuff. Yeah. I'm selling some of the stuff I make. I do 3D printing and laser printing and stuff like that. So, so that was a lot of fun. Me and Dogtown shared a table. So that was a lot of fun.
Nice. Yeah, I know Dogtown. Yeah. Dogtown does, his camp is called
Juke Joint.
Yes, the Juke Joint. Yes. And I think he did a big revamp last year and had a beautiful looking camp. I think he's going to be Theme Zone this year too. Yeah,
he's in the middle of a revamp now. And he's been sharing progress, and it's looking great.
Nice.
He's a great guy.
It's so good.
So, looking forward to seeing this camp out there.
Nice. I'm really glad, a lot of tribes come and go in Wasteland. My tribe, the Dukes, I don't think we've made an official announcement yet, so sorry if I'm spoiling anything, but we're taking a year off of doing the camp just because a lot of life stuff, a lot of tribes got some just things going on, and everyone was feeling a little burnt out just from building for so long. We're going to take a year off, but it's really great that there's other people stepping up and kind of filling spaces in, and there's always been a steady supply of people that are just bringing stuff, always one-upping. It's been inspirational for one of our, as the Dukes, going all the way back to 2011. It's been really inspirational to watch new tribes come up and just bring it in so many ways. So that's been really fun. So I'm glad that you guys are kind of bringing in the new guard of Wasteland tribe camps.
Yeah. And, from the first year I wanted to offer something. We went down there with a lot of moonshine for friends. And we're just sharing with friends, and it was great. And it just made me want to do it even more. I want to, add to the experience, and it's just so fulfilling and fun,
good.
Such a great community, and we're accepted so fast, and it's good. As many people have said before, these are my people,
Yeah. And were you into like post-apocalypse stuff before?
Yes. So I grew up with Mad Max. I saw the very first one when I was young, dating myself. But always been in the Mad Max, the post-apocalyptic thing. I'm sure it was probably the cars that got me first. But love the whole Mad Max world, apocalyptic movies, and
sweet.
And I grew up in a military family, so I got to learn about a lot of stuff with what nuclear stuff can do, and when I was a teenager, I got to train with the U.S. Army several times and go out for a couple of weeks. Some strings were pulled for me to do that, but when I went out, I had to dress the part, I had to act the part, and so learned a lot. I actually went out with the nuclear, chemical, and biological weapons teams.
What?
And we would do you do gas mask tests, so using CS gas, which is worse than tear gas. And then we would do raids at dawn, which is part of how the dawn patrol thing came apart.
I got you.
Because we were doing war games out there, and we had to make sure these guys were ready. And so you're popping CS grenades before or right at dawn, and popping off blanks, and it's but
that's wild.
It was a good experience, but it also, I wish more people got to experience it, because they can see, oh, okay, this isn't so cool if we actually get there to the real thing.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And it's interesting. All right, so you said sent over kind of like a little background on the tribe. I'm going to read it here, because it sounds like you guys are kind of like the good guys here. It says, after the bombs dropped, the world became a poisoned wasteland. But hope flickers in the dead zones with the arrival of the Dawn Patrol. These enigmatic figures offer life-saving radiation treatment and detox, striving for a cleaner, new dawn. To the desperate, their salvation. To the fearful, their ghosts. But to the brutal warlords who rule the wastes, the Dawn Patrol's message of resilience is a dangerous threat, challenging their iron grip and pushing humanity towards a sacred, reclaimed Earth. So now that I read this again, it kind of sounds like there's a lot of inspiration that comes from your time training with the Army when you were younger.
Yes.
Like dealing with chemicals and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
And so what do you, like, tell me a little bit about your camp and how, like, the idea of pushing back against, like, would-be rulers, the brutal warlords, and, like, trying to make sure that people are getting detox and stuff. Do you have those kind of elements in your camp?
We do. As far as detox, radiation treatment, I was really racking my brain. How can we bring something that someone really hasn't, or at least on the scale, that can actually help people out at the Wasteland event and fall into the whole, our theme. And so I have these little, I can show you right now. I got these little, they look like Alka-Seltzer tablets. These are little hand towels. Once you put water on them, they expand. And basically they're a wet wipe. So I took it a step further, and I use essential oils. So I do most of them with peppermint oil.
Cool.
And I got the idea because when I was racing, I was sponsored by a company that made wet wipes that had essential oils. And I tell you, out in that heat, out in the desert, peppermint oil on your skin is so refreshing.
Yeah, because it's like naturally cooling. It's like the opposite of hot sauce, where it's tricking your body into thinking it's cold rather than hot.
Absolutely. Yeah. It is so refreshing. Plus, if you're out there and you don't have your little camp shower or something, wiping down with it, in the morning or after a long day, it keeps you not stinky too.
Totally. Yeah, that's awesome. And yeah, because I know anytime you can just like, wipe your skin, get the sweat off, get the dirt, because the dirt builds up. And not that like you get really sweaty out there, because it's like so dry that, as you're sweating, it's drying. So you just kind of have this dry sweat all the times. But it does create this like this salty film on your skin, which is really nice to get rid of from time to time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we have that. And if you see any of us out there, come ask us. We'll always have them on us. We'll have them in our camp whenever we do events. If you see that our camp's open, given that we get into the theme zone, come say hi. Don't feel free to come and ask us for some.
That's awesome.
I've been making a ton of them. Also for our other radiation treatment or hydro is my nuclear rainbow. I don't know how well you can see that.
I can see that. Yeah.
So obviously for friends and family. But everyone's a friend or family out there, right?
Nice. It's really easy to make friends, which is nice.
Yeah. So little concoction I made. It's a nice little libation, but it also has electrolytes. So
very cool.
Technically per FDA standards, I think I can call it healthy.
What is it? Like rejuvenates your life, vitality. What are all these words that like don't mean anything, but so companies that aren't approved can just put it on there. Yeah. Like encourages healthy habits.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But
awesome.
But yeah, we'll have that. I usually carry some of those little shots for friends that come around.
Very nice.
Our camp will have it on tap, along with another special concoction.
Very good.
Given we get the theme zone.
Yeah. Cool. Well, that's awesome. And then I saw that you guys host a Mojave Express stop.
Yeah, we did that last year. Like I said, we wound up way out there again. Probably one block over, but the same corner. And we did a midnight line again, and we got in by, I believe, 8:15. And I thought,
so earlier than your first year.
And we're going to get, I was thinking, we're going to get so much closer now, and it'll make it worth setting up the whole camp. Yeah. And no, it looked like people had been camped there for days. It was
by the time the gates open, let's see, tribes have been setting up for at least a couple of days. And then, a army of volunteers have been working for, since the Friday before the event. So like 5 days. So a lot of them get to set up early, and then about half of the event is blocked off until opening day, and then they open that. So if you're not getting there until opening day, you tend to be pretty far away. But if you're a place tribe, you do get early access to build, as long as you need it. It's not like a given; you have to need it.
And didn't they expand the theme zone last year?
They kind of pushed it out a little bit. They've been. It had been the first block outside the gate. And by the way, for anyone that kind of missed this, we're still talking about Wasteland Weekend here. The first block outside the gate has always been theme zone, but the next block has tended to have like a few trickling tribes pushing there. So it is it's growing outwards as more and more tribes. Not only we get more tribe camps, but we're also getting larger tribe camps as well. Yeah. So I mentioned the Mojave Express stop, which has been like this voluntary bus route that's been kind of like, it hasn't been pushed too hard, but a lot of tribes do it kind of on their own accord, where a lot of people will just drive their cars around and offer rides. You get a couple of people with large vehicles, even some school buses that are fully themed, and they'll just drive around and offer people rides. And having one of these Mojave Express stops in front of your camp means that anyone can wait there and then just flag down one of these Mojave Express vehicles when they come by, which is kind of cool.
And ours wasn't official. Just because it's only official if you're in the theme zone. But I went ahead and made a cap so I could put it up on the map. Was it Forlorn Hope, right?
Yeah, that's right. DXC's camp. Yeah. They've got the Forlorn Hope Saloon, and they host the maps and the event boards right outside.
Yeah. So put a cap there, and I made signage, and I just used a real cheap small pop-up and just used camo netting for the top. So whoever's sitting there has shade. I
got a little bit of shade.
Bench. Yeah. And I don't know if a lot of people got rides from there, but a lot of people were taking a break there because it was so hot.
Oh,
and
good.
I was like, good. And then if we saw someone out there, we'd go offer them water, or if I was jumping on my bike, which I usually was only using my bike during the day, I'd offer a ride to someone. But
and the entire event, I actually mapped this out, and I jumped on Google Earth to try to figure it out. The entire event is about a half mile long and about a quarter mile wide. So there is a lot of walking to do, but it is still very accessible. But man, it sure is nice when you have a ride, or stick out your thumb and just ask anybody for a lift. It can be really helpful.
Yeah. And that leads me to, I started thinking after last year, because it was so hot, we only had one other person in our tribe that had a bike, and his bike broke like the first day. Biskit blew or something.
Oh,
and
bummer.
So I towed him back with my bike. But so I started thinking, oh man, I feel really bad because the last 2 years I've been running everywhere around Wasteland on my bike. And nobody else in our camp has. They've been all walking, and I'm like, oh God, they probably hate me. And so quite recently, I had a former coworker, great guy, Brett Wilson. He gave me his dad's old quad. For our tribe. He donated it. And it's a nice quad. It's like a Polaris 600. It's like an 02. Only needs a little bit of work, and most of it's just going to be wasting. And so I'm so happy that our tribe is going to have a way to get around, and I might rig it up to where we could have maybe 4 people on it at the same time. And,
oh, cool! A quad, if you would.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but
nice. In a world full of holes,
the hole in the ozone.
Potholes.
Pinholes.
Manholes.
And ass.
Associated empty spaces.
Not what I was going to say.
Well, you know what fills holes?
Well, I've got a few ideas.
Patches.
Right.
They'll fill the hole in your jeans, the hole in your soul, and the hole in your mailbox.
Holy moly, that's a whole lot.
Yep. With the Apocalypse Post's Patch of the Month Club on Patreon, you'll get an original, sometimes exclusive, post-apocalyptic patch sent to your mailbox every month. And you'll be helping support this channel and all its content.
So how do I get in on this whole thing?
Sign up at patreon.com/theapocalypsepost at the $10 tier or above. Make sure your address is added to your profile, and you'll get a patch in the mail every month. There's also 2 and 4 patch tiers for tribes of those very specific sizes.
Well, ain't that the whole shebang?
Now you're just digging yourself a hole.
Well, shut your pipe hole and sign me up.
Holy crap. They get it.
Hold on just a minute.
Okay.
What's the hold up?
The Apocalypse Post's Patch of the Month Club. We'll fill your holes. Sure.
Things are hard out there in the West, but the last thing you need is a bout of radiation sickness bringing you down. That's why I created radical new treatment called concentrated fallout therapy to help you build a tolerance to those pesky ionizing particles. Here at Dr. Prepper Labs, we gradually up your dose of X-rays, gamma rays, and quasi-stable high atomic weight particle exposures, so your body will never be caught unprepared in radioactive storm again. Dr. Prepper, fight fallout with fallout. Concentrated fallout therapy may cause mutations, disfigurement, or early death.
The Love Bombs provide top-notch outcomes for the most discriminating clients all across the Wasteland. When you need executive escort and protection, intelligence analysis, direct action, or other specialized solutions, the Love Bombs provide a bespoke option tailored directly to your needs. Listen to this heartfelt testimonial from one of the Love Bombs' satisfied clients.
I hired the Love Bombs to save my precious Pookie Pie from them there scabs over yonder. They was fixing to turn his poor hide into jerky. Woo! Whew! I reckon not a one of those bastards will walk away from this scuffle.
Because it's on the body part.
Goodness gracious, I reckon I ain't ever seen a gun that big. The love bombs will give your enemies a licking they won't soon forget.
Yes, the love bombs. They're polite, professional, and have a plan to kill everyone they meet. The love bombs provide complete confidentiality in their free initial consultation. That's right, the initial consultation is absolutely free. Remember, the love bombs. Artillery available.
Yeah, we with the Dukes, I think it was Mongo, maybe Bacon. It was our San Diego contingent. They found this little it is a quad, but it's a little guy. Like a go-kart more or less. And they basically they bring it and they just said, hey, anyone in the tribe, if it's here, it's for you to use. So just go for it, which is so great because especially early on in the event when you need to we've been setting up, but they didn't get us fully checked in. So everyone has to go do check-ins, or if we need to pick someone up that's arriving late and they're parking in general parking and so they can't come into the theme zone with their car, having a vehicle that can be shared like that is really awesome. And then This year was my first year with the mini bike. And what a game changer that was, because I could just zip around wherever I wanted to go. I don't even think I went through a tank of gas the entire time, and I was using it all the time. So that was pretty cool. It's just a great way to get around.
Yeah. Question. Are you going to do the slow race this year?
I haven't done the Sloater Cycle race. Wait, do they still call it that?
I think it's just slow race. I think they used to call the trophy still says Sloater Cycle.
Oh, it does. Okay, good. Because I thought Sloater Cycle was a great pun.
Yeah. I think on their flyer it just says slow race, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I could be wrong. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I haven't competed in it, but I think it would probably be about time.
I think you need to.
Yeah. Is there a mini bike leg of that race?
Absolutely.
The mini bikes are separate than the dirt bikes and motorcycles, right?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah,
and you said you competed in that?
I did.
Yeah. How'd you do?
I did the last 2 years. First year I got to second round, and the first year I only had that bike for maybe a month, and all I had done is rode it home. It's a dual sport, but I rode it home, and that was it. And it was a totally different bike than what I was used to. Because I have motocross bikes that are super light and nimble.
Yeah.
But the second year, I won the slow race.
Nice.
So,
Hell yeah.
I was stoked. Yeah. So
that's badass. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. And Lugnuts with the Schofield Drifters, he made the trophy, and it's made out of an old kerosene torch, and then he puts a little metal guy on a motorcycle on top. Yeah. Out of all the trophies I've had from racing, that is by far my favorite.
That's awesome.
It's so awesome. Yeah.
It's a really fun race. All right. So if you're wondering what the hell are we talking about with this slow race or Sloater Cycle race, the Schofield Drifters have hosted this race, which is it's only vehicles with two wheels. So you're talking dirt bikes, motorcycles, mini bikes, and they have to be powered with a motor of some kind.
Yes.
But the idea is the person who comes in last without touching their foot to the ground is the winner. And so if you've ever been on a bicycle or something, it's really hard to go slow. You just don't have the stability. And so, it's actually a really fun competition. And I've always been really impressed by the people that can basically stay on their bike almost still. And sometimes with a little bit of rocking back and forth or something like that, they can stay in the air without putting their feet down. It's really cool.
Yeah. It's almost like trials riding. Yeah. Where you're just crawling and just balancing and
Right.
Yeah. I hope we get more people to race it. I told Schofield I would help pass out flyers this year.
Cool.
Because I want to see more people do it.
Really? Was the turnout not great?
It was decent. But I personally feel it could be better.
Gotcha.
With the amount of bikes we have out there, we should have 5 times the amount of entrants.
Oh, yeah. Where did it take place this past year? Because I know I've seen it in the street before, right in the street.
So it's on the south side of Schofield Drifters. So it would be right next to their camp, but right across from Radstag.
Oh yeah, and that's a great space too because there's a ton of space. It's not just a road between two camps. It's actually like a very open courtyard kind of area. So that's nice because it just means, it's a little bit safer with a lot more space to work with.
Yeah. But
Cool.
I gotta give props to Schofield for running it every year. It's that was one of the things I was really looking forward to the most.
Cool.
From the
nice.
first time I went. So yeah.
Yeah, they're one of the tribes that just continually impress me with how much they do. And I mean, this goes across to the whole tribe because they're very active in lore. They've got tons of events. They have their bar open every night. I know that Doc, he prides himself on being like the last bar open as often as possible and then being up first the next morning, which is absolutely crazy. But they've been super active. They brought so much to the event. It's been great.
Yeah. Plus did you ever have any of their drinks?
I have. Yeah.
So all the drinks are kind of like mood drinks. And so you pick one thing and pick another ingredient and make something. Yeah.
Yeah, I've talked about it on the show a few times, and it is really fun because it's like you don't get to choose what you drink; you choose the emotion that it is. And so, their favorite one is regret tastes like regret. I still don't know what it is; it's all proprietary; it's secret. But I'm guessing it's something like Malort, probably.
Yeah, regret was rough. Yeah, I did that one. That was rough.
Oh yeah, gotcha. Yeah. I think the first time I did it, it was probably something like lustful bravery or something like that, and it was a very sweet, like fruity, kind of a sour drink. It felt like something you get at a dance club.
Yeah.
Versus regret I wasn't ready for, but I do like bitter stinky drinks, oddly enough. Like when people pass out Malort as a joke, I'm like, yeah, I'm ready for it. Like I love it. It reminds me of like tonic water has that real bitter flavor to it. And so, it's kind of fun.
Yeah. I only tried Malort once, and that was, what's the tribe that has the speakeasy? Like you have to have a pass or you have to bribe them to get in the door. And they have a Malort bar. Yeah.
There's quite a few, speakeasies in the Waste.
Ship themed, I think.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. The Sunken Norwegian?
I believe so. Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. They're, they do, they're like a meadery.
Yeah.
But I think they have some other libations available. Yeah, they're really fun because they make their own mead and then do taste testings for friends and family.
yeah, of course. Yeah. But and their tribe, their camp has a great vibe. I love that,
Nice. Yeah, it's really fun. I spent years not going in there because it's kind of like a walled camp. It's really tough to see how you enter, but you just knock on the door and they say, hey, do you have the password? And either you do or you bribe your way in, or there's lots of ways to get into places that we kind of do this inclusive exclusivity with all the camps. So there's ways to earn your way in that aren't necessarily obvious. So I didn't go into that camp for a long time, and then I finally made it in, and I thought it was super fun, and they just had this incredible hospitality, and they just made you feel at home, and you get to do a nice little taste testing. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So going back to the motorcycles, last year, because of the movie Furiosa, Wasteland hosted its first Dementis ride. And of course, Dementis ruled a biker gang. Did you guys participate in that?
Absolutely. Yeah. Unfortunately, my other campmate, Cheeks, he wasn't able to do it because his bike blew up.
Right.
But yeah. And unfortunately, we didn't have the tri-bike, the chariot bike, leading us because someone backed into it at the car show.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I have no idea who, and I wouldn't call him out anyway because I'd be mortified if I did that.
Yeah.
But I guess it looked like it broke in one of the forks on one of the bikes.
Oh, that is awful.
I feel so terrible for whoever built it. I forgot. I know I follow him, but I forgot his name. Is
that Wes's? Because I think Wes built one of those years ago. I don't know if it's specifically the Dementis bike that would have been there last year. I didn't get to see the Dementis ride, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it's Wes's. It's a newer bike that was recently built.
Oh, okay. So it's going to be something different then.
Yeah. But
That
so
is
that was supposed to lead us.
heartbreaking.
Jared ended up leading us with his, what is his car?
Is it like the silver car? I don't, the
Yeah,
Valkyrie, I think.
34 or 30's car.
Yeah. I think Jared's is called the Valkyrie, if I remember right.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's a really cool vehicle.
Yeah. So he let us when he was picking everybody for who's going to be up front. He picked myself and Big Hat Guy with his trike.
Big Hat Guy. What is that his name? Like Big Hat Guy?
That's all I've heard him go by. Once again, someone else that I follow, and I just cannot keep up names. I apologize if he sees this, but
no, that's hilarious.
But he's one of the big traders out there.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I think he's going to be in the theme zone this year. Yeah, but great guy. Talks with a Slavic accent. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, that's fun. Big Hat
so
Guy. I mean, that's a good name because as long as you're wearing a big hat, no one's going to forget you.
Oh, you'll know him when you see him. I mean, it's a huge hat. And,
really?
And I think I might know who you're
talking about.
Yeah, yeah. So even our first year we traded with him, which was a lot of fun. But yeah, the Nemesis ride was fun. We did a couple loops, and then Jared told us, "Hey, if you guys want to go play around out here, go ahead." And because we were on the other side of the hill,
right? Yeah.
And so I'm like, you know what? I've had this bike for over a year. Got it just before the previous Wasteland. And, when I bought it, I was going to restore it and get it back on the street. And I'm like, I haven't gotten to shake this thing down yet. All I've done is putt around Wasteland. And so someone had made a little TT track with a couple small jumps out there and some bowl turns. Really? And I got a chance.
Oh, it's got to be like one of the locals that just go out there to ride the trails, right?
Yeah. Huh. And so we got to play out there for about a half hour. It was a blast.
Cool.
We got to do a bunch of dirt burnouts and take to China with our rear wheel and
rooster tailing.
So a bunch of us wound up in the official Wasteland recap video.
The highlights.
And then a bunch of us wound up in Dead Animal Assembly Plant's video, Cinder.
Oh, cool.
I don't know if you've seen that yet or not.
I don't know if I have.
They filmed it at Wasteland Weekend last year.
Cool. Oh, that's awesome. They're an incredible band. If you haven't checked out Dead Animal Assembly Plant, they put on an amazing show. They've been regulars at Wasteland. Put on one of the best shows of the event every year. They're in their full theme, high energy. The music's actually honestly great. And they put together some good music videos. So check them out if you get a chance.
Yeah. And in fact, they're the ones that were going around with the Aztec death whistle. If anyone
what is that?
Who that was. Oh, it's this whistle that sounds like screeching death. And the whole time I was there, I kept hearing it every single day, and it was them. And they were just driving around because they actually have a war rig. And
cool.
My wife got a ride with them, and she didn't realize who they were until after she saw the Cinder video, and she's like, "Oh, funny! I was on their vehicle."
Nice. I love that. That's so fun. It is kind of nuts how you don't realize who you're talking to half the time out there because people are in costume. Sometimes you only recognize people when they're in a certain costume, but not another one. A lot of times people wear masks, like you were, like when you started the episode today, and that's how you know them is with the mask. So it's kind of funny how there is a certain anonymity if you want it when you're at these festivals.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Fun.
Yeah. But if we want to backtrack a little bit to our first Wasteland. So when my wife and I were planning the wedding, we're like, okay, we got to find someone to officiate it. So I went on Wasteland Central. And for anyone new to Wasteland, go on Facebook, Wasteland Central, find all the different Wasteland pages and groups. There's so many, and you will get any amount of information you need. And you just go in and ask, and people help. But so I posted in there, hey, is there anybody that's ordained that could wed us? And a bunch of people responded like immediately. And all of a sudden, I'm like, is half of Wasteland ordained? There's so many people there that are ordained. It's amazing.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah, so first person kind of fell through just because the timing wasn't good for the days, and they were just a busy person. And then Tag from the Degenerates, she's like, her husband TJ could do it and if we wanted, he could do it in his service outfit, which is I guess dead animal skulls and whatnot.
Very nice.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, absolutely. I was really into that, and so yeah, when we got, I think the first day when we got there, went and talked to them, and TJ's an amazing guy, and Tag as well, and so we got married at the Degenerates camp. I think Friday that week.
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome.
I got married in the evening, and then it turned out. I believe it's the Mad Scientist photographer, if that sounds right.
Good question.
He's the one
Does he do the lithographs?
No, he does the. I think he does some of the official photography, and he's the one that everyone will line up for to get shots during the sunset and all that.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about, but I don't remember his name.
I once again can't remember names.
Right.
But anyway, so just across the corner, when we got done with the ceremony, he was, taking pictures, and the line had dissipated, and we went over there. So we got some wedding pictures from him with the sunset, and man, it turned out so great. And then on top of it, that night was the harvest moon. I think harvest blood moon or something. And so the pictures we got at like midnight looked like it was daytime. It was incredible. Yeah.
Fantastic. Oh, I love that. Yeah. It's kind of fun how, when you go to a festival like this, it's so community oriented. Like a wedding in the real world costs tens of thousands of dollars, but you can have like this big, amazing, elaborate thing with an officiant and a photographer, and everyone's just kind of like working on it together. It is really fun. So was that like was that a legal wedding? Did you do all the paperwork and everything, and then and then you just had the ceremony at Wasteland?
Yeah, and TJ just had to sign off on our papers, and then the next week we went to our local whatever it is.
She used like a town hall or something like that. Yeah, the clerk.
Yeah, and had them draw the paperwork, and it was done. Yeah,
that's so great.
It was great. Yeah, but yeah, having a wedding out there is amazing. And even if you haven't been out there yet, go for it. If someone's ready to get married out there. Why not?
I love it.
It's such an experience. We had so many people that we didn't know just join in, which was amazing. There's a bunch of degenerates and people from other camps were watching. You got people walking by, and I wouldn't have had it any other way.
That's awesome. And you get out of the whole, you can't sit Aunt Sue with cousin Larry, those deals. Like you don't have to worry about any of that. But then that was the year that you had all like 10 of your friends, or there were 10 of you total. So that was a nice year to have a win. Yeah, because
absolutely, yeah. And then we got,
because you still get to have like some special people to you there.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yay,
Zeke's and
cool. So, the number of like engagements and weddings and big life things that happen at Wasteland is kind of nuts. I remember there was years of the event before we had our first like big wedding, and it took place on the main stage, and Lord Humongous officiated. It was a ton of fun, and then since then it's like every year there's more and more of these big ceremonies that happen out there.
Yeah, speaking of which, that reminds me, he was the first person I reached out to.
Is that right?
In some of the YouTube videos, I saw him officiating a wedding. Yeah. And I'm like, what would be cooler,
Right.
So I reached out to him on Facebook, and he's all the way out in Jersey.
Yeah.
I guess for, he's got a family, work. I
Mhm.
think it's been some years since he's been at Wasteland,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah, it has. That's
But
Jim Dorsey. He was
yeah,
famously our like biggest Lord Humongous, and I remember I met him in 2011 after his first year playing Humongous, and I got an interview with him where I was like, "All right, do you guys have any plans for next year?" He was with a couple other friends, and he was talking about, "I just want to get bigger. I want to make Lord Humongous even bigger." And it's just like, dude, you're already huge. Like you're jacked. And yeah, he did come back the next year bigger. He did the full voice. He had the personality. He had the ego, which everyone knew Jim had an ego about being humongous, but it was hilarious. And he ended up meeting his wife because she was doing a documentary about him, Jim, the pool guy who plays Lord Humongous. And they ended up getting married, and now they have a family, and it's kind of wild.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So Wasteland has definitely spurred on quite a few romances.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's funny because he saw on my Facebook that I got to meet Doyle from the Misfits at a concert.
Wow.
And it was like shortly before that. So I had posted on Facebook, and he saw that. He actually has a Misfits tattoo, and he worked with the Misfits at one time back in the day.
That I know that I've heard him mention that. I don't know what he did with them though. Was he like a roadie or something?
I don't think it was roadie. I think he was something a little higher up.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
But yeah, you mentioned that to me. I'm like, oh, that's sick.
Yeah, really cool. You kind of you start getting used to the idea that people that are Wastelanders come from all different facets of life. Like we've got a ton of people in the entertainment business, and kind of like any big festival, it attracts a handful of celebrities every year. So they end up like, becoming part of the community, which is really fun.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah. Sweet. So how many of you guys are going to come out this year? Of the Dawn Patrol?
There's going to be 4 of us that are actually in the tribe.
Uh-huh.
We definitely have one other that'll probably be camping with us, possibly 1 or 2 more. But yeah, it's, when we did the Hootenanny, set up the whole Apoca Lounge, it took about 3 of us a day and a half, 2 days to set it up.
Yeah.
But that was our first time setting the entire thing up. Prior to that, I was the only one that had set anything up for the current setup.
Yeah.
So I did it in my driveway, and I'm like, hey, I'm going to take this parachute, I'm going to put it in between the 2 carports and use a pole and use military spreader blades like they do for the camo netting.
Oh, yep.
And so I just had to guesstimate the size of the poles I needed and everything. And I don't know how, but it just worked out for a shot. And so prior to Hootenanny, I'd only set up the framework. So,
gotcha.
So the Apoca Lounge, one thing I noticed at Wasteland, there's a lack of is couches and very comfortable places to chill.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
There's a few camps that have some very cozy couches. But that's one thing I noticed, and I'm like, you know what? I want to have that. I want to have a little area where people can just chill, relax. So we got I don't know how long it's going to last. It survived Hootenanny, but I got a Intex blow up L-shaped couch. It's like a big curved couch.
You said it's blow up?
Yeah, and it's Intex, the company that makes like pools and all that, and all the heavier duty blow up stuff. So we just threw a ton of canvas over the top of it to protect it. And, if it survives Wasteland, I'll be impressed. But it'll be comfortable for a little bit for someone.
And then one person will sit on it and it'll just poof and flatten right out.
Possibly, but it seats 4 people quite comfortably.
Cool.
And then we'll have another futon in the same area. And then also we made a little, we have a big futon pad with tons of pillows on the ground.
Oh,
just
that's
so
nice.
you could go lay back and relax. And that was quite popular at Hootenanny.
I bet.
A lot of people really liked chilling on that. So
I bet.
But we have that. We have our little dance floor right in the center.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll have our bar and a little seating area. So, and then we have some giant Jenga as well.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it's always fun to have
might,
some bar games.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I might have some more games if we can do it in time.
Cool.
But yeah.
Yeah, I know there's several places around Wasteland City that do kind of like a day lounge thing, and a lot of them will have board games and stuff. I know that the Scam Bandits, like all day long, they're doing like board game days, which is really fun. I know that DXC and the Forlorn Hope, they've got a lot of tables and comfortable spots to like sit and play some games. So it's nice that like kind of Wasteland's getting dotted around with just like more and more fun lounges where you can get out of the sun, get some shade, relax, sip on some water, and just like hang out, which is really nice, especially on those 100+ degree days.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And that's something we're going to try to provide when we're open during the day. We'll try to have some non-alcoholic drinks and get everyone hydrated, and you know, we'll always have electrolyte tabs, and if someone needs something, feel free to come ask us.
Cool.
You know, we want everybody to be comfortable and not get heat exhaustion.
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh,
yeah.
I love it. And yeah, I mean, that's a surefire way to get included in Wasteland City is not only have an awesome theme camp, but also provide a service. Like every theme camp has to kind of add something to the community. It's not like you can, like most of the tribes will do something, whether it's lore based or have an event or have something in their camp that's participatory or put on a show of some kind. But yeah, for a lot of people, if you're looking to get into Wasteland City and be a place tribe, just think about like what you can add to the community, what kind of service you can do, or put together a really good looking camp.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wanted to ask you a little bit more about the patch that you designed, because this was your design, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Yes, sweet. So yeah, it's got like a atomic bomb, kind of mushroom cloud in the background, and then it's got some cats with headphones on. Is that kind of the idea?
Yeah. So the mushroom cloud, that was actually clip art that I found online.
Okay.
And it started off with me just making some vinyl stickers and with our Dawn Patrol name on there, and you know, we love cats. I got one sitting on me right now. This is Havoc.
I see him hanging out there.
Yeah, he lives up to his name.
Nice. What's his name?
But Havoc.
Havoc. Oh, cute.
Yeah, wreaking havoc. Yep. So I had found this kind of war cat looking logo. And I'm like, I wonder what I could do that. So I started morphing it, put the ears back, like in tack position. And we all love music. So I'm like, I change it up a little bit, do a little bit, some headphones on it. And I'm not real technically inclined when it comes to creative software. So I started messing around. I did a lot of this on my vinyl cutter software, just morphing stuff and then using my phone's paint function and then I just started messing with colors and inverting colors, and then all of a sudden accidentally just got that really weird vibe in the back, like it's just a nuclear dawn.
It totally looks like that. It almost looks like something that's like motion blurred across in a way. Almost like, you're turning really fast. It's a neat logo. It's well done.
Yeah. So it's happy little accidents.
Yeah. And so the patch itself is like a little bit of fabric, kind of vinyl. And it's going to be a little bit different than the typical embroidered patches that we do for the Patch of the Month Club. But you said you had a kind of a particular way that you like to affix these, because you can still sew it, right?
Yeah, you can totally sew it. It's going to be a little bit harder to put the needle through. So what I would suggest is you could get a leather punch and punch the holes like you would with a leather patch.
I know that they're on Amazon for just a few bucks.
Yeah, you can get a regular needle through it. I've done it. But I, because of lack of time, I don't do a lot of sewing with my battle vest and all that. So I started riveting them on. So I would get the little eyelet rivets, kind of like what your tennis shoes would have, like some Converse or something like that.
Yeah.
Those old metal ones, and just press it on. You
That's a great idea.
And obviously don't do it on something that's going to be right up against your skin because that could be abrasive.
Yeah, a little chafing.
yeah. Unless you back it with felt, but yeah. I've had some pretty good success using black shoe goo for gluing on patches as well.
What? Oh, I would never think about that.
Yeah, I've experimented a lot because I'm always looking for an easier way to put something on because I usually have one day off a week and trying to get all this stuff done. It's I have to really think about things and make it go faster.
Right.
So yeah, so far shoe goo. It's doing pretty good. I still have some more testing, but so far it's looking promising.
But that's a good idea because shoe glue is meant to be a really good adhesive, but still be really flexible, so it doesn't break.
Yeah.
So that would make a lot of sense for patches, especially in clothing that you're like moving around a lot and shifting and getting pulled in different directions. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of headliner adhesive for stuff that works out really well because you spray it on and it is still like it's not a permanent glue. I don't know if I'd recommend it for patches, but that's one of those things that kind of comes out surprising as far as like for decorations. It does really good at holding dirt on too. Mm-hmm. Like if you just want to make something really dirty.
Tacky.
Yeah, and because
plus the texturing it leaves is really good for wasting stuff.
Yeah, because it's a little bit unorganized. It's like sporadically play like it's regular, but it's not perfect. And it also comes out in this long, like thin stream as you go. So it's a really easy way to cover a lot of space with your glue.
Yeah, it almost shoots out like a sticky spider web.
Yeah, it kind of does. And so it's really good for like getting things dirty.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fun. Yeah. And then the other one that I found was there's this black foam, like foam sealant that you would use for insulation. And that stuff stains like denim and clothing really well, like permanently, in a really neat way. I found out because I accidentally got some on my clothes one day and it does not come out. But after I washed it once, after I let it dry and then washed it once, I noticed like it kind of has this like tar almost staining to it, which is really fun. So it's kind of neat. Like the different things that come out is like, oh, this is actually a really neat way to decorate things.
Yeah. One day we would like to do a little workshop with distressing, but maybe next year.
Cool.
When we get things more in line. I know Tooth and Nail, Pickleback with Tooth and Nail. Those guys are going to be doing a gun distressing workshop at Wasteland this year. Yeah,
nice.
We were just hanging out with them at Wasteland Talk reunion last week. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
So, Commodore puts that on. Commodore and Tooch.
Yeah, badass. That's really fun. And if you guys are attending to Wasteland, especially if it's your first time, make sure you're following on Wastelander Central because as we get closer to the event, there will be an unofficial community events board that people will start sharing. And it's a really great way to find out what the tribes are doing as opposed to what the event's doing as a whole. Because the event, they schedule a main stage, they schedule a couple like the car cruises and the car show. But when you start talking about like the tribe things, most of those are considered community events. And the best way to do that is get a hold of this events, the community events board. And check things out because that's where everyone posts to. And if you have an event that you want to share on there, it's open source. So jump in, don't be a dick, and keep things organized. And that's a great way to share your events. Really fun.
Yeah, I got to mention something from our first year. One of the things that really jumped out at me. So prior to 23, our first trip, I believe I did one of your pre-buys for the koozie, the slap koozie.
Oh yeah, what did we do? The slap koozie was all you had to do was sign up on Patreon, and I sent you one.
Yeah. Yeah, and so I got that delivered to our camp our first day, and I'm like, I'm way the hell out here. How did people find us?
Yeah,
but I remember someone calling my name, and I'm like, what?
That's awesome.
So, but yeah, got it right here.
Oh, badass! Yeah, I was doing the giveaway. If you signed up for Patreon at any level, you would get a free koozie at Wasteland, which was really fun. I had a lot of people sign up for it, and it's just fun to like send mail out there too.
Mm. Oh yeah, and receiving mail is incredible.
It's a blast, isn't it?
Yeah, I remember I got stopped in the city my first day, and the girl was like, hand me this envelope, and she's like, you have some red on you, so I have to give this to you. And I'm like, what? And I went over and stopped and looked at it, and saying we need to discuss your extended warranty on your bike.
Funny. Yeah, nice.
And it was for the nuke review, so I went over the nuke review, and that was a blast. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's funny. So I love it.
It's all those little things that just makes it amazing. It's so much fun.
Yeah. There's like 1,000 different ways to play out there, including Type 2 fun, which comes from the WCC, who does the post office. Type 2 fun is like, it's not fun at the time. It's a lot of work. Like they're a tribe that they work for most of the Wasteland, doing Wastelander radio, the post office, the newspaper, weather reports. Like they're constantly like just doing some kind of work. Plus their camp takes a long time to put up, takes a long time to take down. They call it Type 2 fun because it's not fun at the time, but when you talk about it later, it's fun to talk about, which I think is hilarious.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Two of our friends are in the WCC, Atlas and Fetch.
Oh yeah. Very nice.
Yeah.
Sweet. That's awesome. Yeah. They're an awesome tribe. I've known them for a long time. They were sister tribes with the Dukes of the Nuke for a while.
Right on.
Yeah. Until the 2016 map placement debacle. They just moved the Dukes and the WCC from way out, kind of where like the Black Thumb is placed, relatively, but this is at the old site. And then they moved us up to be to be part of the main gate, and the wall. But the Dukes take up a lot of space, and we did not get given a lot of space that year. So, and half of our tribe ended up having to be elsewhere. And then what was our camp was just so dense, it was almost impossible. And so the next year we were like, hey, we need a new spot. And the WCC kept the spot next to the gate on the wall, and we got the spot on Main Street. So unfortunately we didn't get to move together, but I think we both got a little bit better of placement out of it. Yeah. So it was good. All right, cool. Well, I'm really looking forward to seeing Dawn Patrol at Wasteland this year. And of course, I cannot wait to send out these patches. Thank you so much for sponsoring this month.
Yeah.
These will be shipping out in July. And all you guys need to do to get one is be a member of the Apocalypse Post's Patreon at patreon.com/the Apocalypse Post. Sign up at $10 at the $10 tier or higher, and you get a patch every single month delivered to your door. And just like we all love to get mail at Wasteland, it is still a ton of fun to get mail in the real world, as long as it's not a bill or spam mail or, a letter from a lawyer or any one of like the only mail we ever get anymore. Cause like, I don't get letters these days. I don't even get birthday cards anymore. People used to send me birthday cards. I don't get those, but yeah, it's a ton of fun to get stuff in the mail. And the comments that I get when people get these, they're in hand stamped envelopes, and they just say it's fun to get things. So it's great. Anyway, absolutely. That's my big sell. MotoPunk, thanks for hanging out today.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I look forward to seeing everyone out there. And if you have your patch on your gear, come find me, and I'll have a special treat for you.
Oh, okay. There you go. So wait, get the patch, wear the patch, and come visit you. That's the rule?
Yep.
All right. So, there's some extra incentive. We suddenly have a matching donation. All you need to do is be a member of the Patch of the Month Club. I'm sure there's other ways to get these, but this is the best way right now to get a Dawn Patrol patch, at least before Wasteland, probably. So sign up. You'll get it in the beginning of July. You can put it on your costume and be ready to go for Wasteland to go get a free gift at Dawn Patrol, which is awesome. Thank you so much for doing that.
Yeah, my pleasure.
That's really fun. All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up for today. Did we? I think we covered everything, didn't we, MotoPunk?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. It's kind of funny. I forgot to bring any Wasteland costumes back with me. So they're all in my camper. So I need to make some if I want some. Anyway, it's a good excuse to do some new costuming. But yeah, there's a big summer ahead. We got a lot of prep to do. Of course, no Dukes of the Nuke prep this year, which is kind of nice. I can work on some other things. But I do have some more episodes of Legends of Wasteland City coming out. I'll be working hard on that, as well as, of course, keeping our regular The Apocalypse Postcast going. And keep an eye on the YouTube channel because there's still more stuff coming up there. Plus, I got some new original music coming for you as well. So make sure you're subscribed to all those places. Let's see, what else? Hit subscribe on this wherever you're listening. Give it a like, a thumbs up, or a review if you can. And if you enjoyed today's episode, share it with a friend. If you hated it, share it with an enemy and back into their motorcycle chariot to break their hearts. I feel bad for saying that one. Whoever did the chariot, comment so I can find you and send you an apology letter through the mail. It's so painful. Kind of like how the wrestlers, someone hit the wrestling ring this year with a car too. So guys, drive safe in Wasteland because we are very lucky that we're still able to drive around. And if we keep hitting things, we won't be able to. So drive slow, drive sober, and drive in the light. I don't know what else to say about that. Be safe, y'all. That's all I'm saying. All right, MotoPunk, thank you so much. I'll see you at Wasteland, buddy.
Thank you.
And for all you out there, thanks for tuning in. And until next time, stay alive.
And